Mike, this just came to my heart. This just came in my mind. I go way, way back to 1960s and 1970s, Quebec and Canada. And I mean, personally, I was a Federalist. I was in love with Canada. I want to be clear with everybody listening to this today. In my mind, in my heart, there's two Canadas now, Mike. There's the old Canada and there's new Canada. And at least rationalize it that way, that old Canada, because I'll tell you what, I loved being Canadian, and I love my Canadian friends. I love Alberta. Goodness gracious, I still love my Montreal hockey. We love Canada. Canada's a nice place. It's got incredible resources. It's got incredible, just wonderful national monuments. But the old Canada was where I call 1950s handshake world, where we at least trusted kind of each other. We believed our media. We had we had the Peter Jennings down here, or what have you, the Walter Cronkites or whatever, and you had your folks up there. We trusted to an extent, our law enforcement and our FBI. We relied on them, Mike. We relied on our FBI and our law enforcement and the RCMP to keep us safe. But New Canada is different, and I'll tell you what. I can't believe you pull this out in me every Friday, man. But I'll tell you what. In this last 2 years, Mike, and I mean this is heartfelt from a dueling citizen here, okay, an American up. I've seen things in the last 2 years I never as a Canadian would have ever dreamed coming out of my prime minister. I'm telling you. I've never dreamed, and I don't think his father would have even been stupid enough to ban guns or stupid enough to close your border even longer than anyone recommended or I never dreamed I would see bank accounts frozen, Mike, bank accounts frozen. And I watched Tamara Leaks this morning. I watched 30 minutes of her testimony. I can't believe the travesty that was wrought upon her. I've never seen anything like it. I don't think I would have seen that in my old Canada. And if this is what the new Canada is, Mike, Philip, if this is what new Canada is, every registered Alberta voter, when the referendum comes up, do you want to be the 51st state of the United States of America? Vote yes, and this nightmare will be over. Because I'll tell you what, the international community is laughing at Canada, Mike. They're laughing at your prime minister. In case anyone didn't know. So
I got to take exception with something that you just said. I seriously have to take exception with what you just said. Please stop calling that man my prime minister. I don't have one. I'll just leave it at that. Thank you, Greg.
Well, hallelujah. Well, there you go. There you go. and seriously, Mike, I'm serious. I don't want to sound, the old school boomer, but I was raised with JFK Democrats.
Right.
And where I see them today, they still exist. There's the Harold Fords down here. Check them out. There's the Joe Liebermans down here. You sit down, you have a conversation with them. You negotiate your position, because negotiation, you must give the person at the other side of the table a feeling of victory. You must.
Yep.
And then you decide it, and there's no personal hatred. There's, as I joke many times, Mike, you punch each other in the nose on the ice and go have a beer after the game.
Yep.
Where did this go? And wherever this went, I don't care. I don't care, because starting in 2022 and 2024 in the United States, there is not only going to be a red wave tsunami, there's going to be a cultural tsunami where we are finally going to be able to put our foot down as regular tax-paying folks like you, Mike, and me, Greg, and we can say, enough of this garbage. You've ruined our lives for the last 2-3 years. You've ruined our lives. And I would never say that or point a finger at government until seeing those lockdowns and those bank account freezes, Mike. So there you go. And I think that's my second soapbox of the day, Mike.
We got to go to our commercial break, Greg. But on the other hand, you could say